Hello, today is June 25th, and we've decided to take our Silver Cross Video magazine on the road. And I'm here in the Telecommunications room, which is a very small room with a ton of technology and just a lot going on. You may hear in the background fire alarm testing happening, and the phone is constantly ringing. And I'm here today with Jaime Rowe and with Nabila, and they're going to give us some information about how their department works. Last week was Telecommunication Operators Week, and did you know that our operators here handled 33,000 calls? I said 33,000 calls in the month of April, and they did it with cheerfulness and with grace and with efficiency. And they also handle all the codes for the hospital, more than 200 a month. So they play an important role in saving lives. So Jaime, let's start with you. How long have you been at Silver Cross?
I have been a part of the Silver Cross family for almost 5 years. I started as a registry operator. I worked my way to a daytime charge operator, and I was recently promoted to Telecommunications Supervisor in March.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved. And Nabila, how long have you been here?
It'll be 3 years in July.
3 years. So you're a newbie.
So I do consider myself a newbie, especially learning all new things all the time, yes.
Well, speaking of that, how did you get trained on all of this?
So in the beginning, we have 80 hours of training where we observe, we go through all the procedures, and we do role playing with each other before we're ever left alone on the phones. So we have substantial training.
And how about coding for codes, Jaime?
So training for codes is included in an 80-hour training period. We do practice, like Nabila said, role playing. We have competency quizzes, mostly 2 a month we're doing to make sure everyone is up to date. We have the most up-to-date policies and procedures in our operator Bible, we call it. We make sure that the staff is fully ready. You know, we don't get some codes we don't get often. So we make sure we're doing the competency quizzes to make sure they are ready to go at any time.
Yeah, it's such an important role in the organization. And we have something now called Informacast. Can you tell us what that is, Nabila?
Yes, Informacast is a live notification broadcasting where you can get notified by email, by phone, and you are, even if you're not here in the hospital and you're an employee, you know what's happening in any emergency situation. It's a wonderful way of notifying.
Right. And how does can all Silver Cross employees have Informacast?
Yes, so all new hires are automatically included in the Informacast system, and current employees have the option of opting in, and you just let Jaime or our boss Melanie know, and they will add you to the system.
Good. So if you're not signed up for Informacast, please do, because it keeps everybody connected, especially during emergencies. Okay. So, Jaime, I imagine during the COVID pandemic, the types of calls you got and the number of calls you got changed pretty dramatically. Do you want to share some information about that?
Sure. Over the last 3.5 months during the pandemic, we had an influx of calls regarding testing, COVID-19 testing. Once the patients were tested, we received a spike in calls for the results of their COVID-19 tests. Communication changed rapidly, weekly, daily. The team was very well implementing all the changes and adjusting to all the new communication. They did that very well.
They did. I would agree. Very, very well. And you guys were really oftentimes the first point of information for the public about questions of the pandemic. So thank you. You know, we had to cut for a minute there because a code was called, and immediately Nabila and Jaime jumped into action, called the overhead page, and made sure that everything was in place, like within seconds. An example of safety here at Silver Cross. And Nabila, you were telling me why you thought Silver Cross might have gotten the A for patient safety. What are your thoughts about that?
We have a culture of safety here at Silver Cross, 7 behaviors which help promote safety. Right on the back of our badges, in case we forget, we have our safety behaviors.
Thank you.
And in case we forget to turn our badges over, if you walk through our stairwells and in different places in the hospital, you'll see on the walls reminders of our safety behaviors. And mine just happens, my favorite one, everybody has their favorite. Mine is to always greet patients, visitors, and colleagues. That's number 7, because it's important to greet each other. And that is part of safety, so we acknowledge each other.
And you greet 30,000 people a month over the phone. So thank you for that. Jaime, any closing remarks?
I just want to really stress how proud I am of this team. Over the last 3.5 months, it's been different and, stressful all around for everyone. And they've really, really, really have been a great team.
Well, I would agree with that. And thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.